We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast for Coffee Connection, doing a debrief. But the debrief is really something much more than just a debrief. And so it's developing, I don't know, character, it's developing integrity, it's developing disciplines, it's developing a whole bunch of things. And so how are the three of you doing on your recorded podcasts?
I think I have a couple of the Friday calls that I still need to do.
Can somebody translate that for me?
They're not getting done.
Yeah, good. Excellent. Nice. Okay. So bad. All right. Good. Excellent. Nice. Good. Anita, how are you doing?
Not good. They're not. I'm stuck.
Elaine, how are you doing?
Bad.
Okay. So do you all know what the root of that, the core is? And if you're listening to the rebroadcast of this, it's the same thing for you. So you might not connect the dots that you have the same issues that the three of these ladies have. And so, anybody have any ideas? So what the three of you is that you lack discipline. The three of you lack personal discipline. Questions?
How do we change that?
Well, first you have to understand what personal discipline is.
What is it?
So most people, what do you think it is? This is what you think personal discipline is what most people think of personal discipline. It's not that you're wrong, but there's a much deeper thing in personal discipline. So what do you think personal discipline is? You guys haven't given this a lot of thought, I can tell.
Is it overcoming laziness?
So, I mean, doing what you're supposed to do is personal discipline, right? And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you lack personal discipline, right? That's what most people think personal discipline is. It's like doing what you're supposed to do. If you do what you're supposed to do, that's personal discipline. If you don't do it, you lack discipline. That's what most people think.
Okay, so what is it?
So personal discipline is disciplining yourself when you don't do what you should do. It's just like with children. But you're doing it to yourself. So what you have to do is you have to know the leverage. You have to be personally leveraged to go ahead and do this. And so which one of you are going to process this one?
I can't.
So let's say Anita, because she can write. So she needs to be writing. She needs to be writing while we're doing this. So the header on this one is going to be, is a lack of personal discipline killing you? Or is a lack of personal discipline holding you back? Or could you make twice as much money in half the time if you had more personal discipline? Those are just three that come to me right like that. And so, in all three of them, there's only one that's the header. And so the header is the thing that draws people in. And so what did Mark talk about in this? And so that's okay. So that's there. So you got to go ahead and be taking notes, and you're looking for significant things and things that will seduce, draw, hypnotize, romance, whatever words you want to use when they say dang, I lack this. Then you say, okay, so we have some type of so that big on personal discipline. Then we say, where is it going to go? And it's got to go in a place, and it can go in more than one place. It has to go in one place, but it might be going more than one place or be referenced in multiple places. So this not only fixes this, you fix the personal discipline, and you not only fix this thing here where you're processing, you don't have very big goals. None of you do on this thing. I mean, I do between 15 and 25 a week. You guys have, I don't know, 1 or 2. It's not, whatever you have, it's not a big ask. So what you do, so then you say, where is this going to be located? And then you all three have to go ahead and remember where it's located. Because why do you have to remember where it's located?
So you can refer people to it.
Yeah, you can refer people to it. And who's maybe the number one person you're going to refer to it?
You?
Maybe yourself. Or were you saying me as Mark?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Could be like, and so what you do is you go ahead and why you? Why ourselves? Why are we the number one?
Often benefited from maybe the most.
We need it the most because we lack discipline. So you go through it the first time, and if you don't catch it this time, you're going through it again. But you have to know where it's at. It could be one of your favorite podcasts. You might look at it 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times. You'll look at it so much until you get disgusted with it. And so then you say, if I have to watch it more than once, so you'd say, one thing I'm going to be personal discipline on. So I'm going to do one thing where this is going to be personal discipline. I'm going to do this. And if you watch it again, you have to write out 100 times. I will have more personal discipline in fill in the dots. And so Anita and Nora, what would be something that you would write out if you're not, what's something else you both need to be personally disciplined in?
Pressure point analysis.
Pressure point analysis. Like it's not hard. Doesn't take hours. So there's something that's blocking you. So personal discipline is leverage. You leverage yourself because if you don't, reality will leverage you. So who would you guys rather go ahead and have come up with the discipline? You yourselves for yourself, or would you rather have me come up with it?
Myself.
Why? See, Anita knows me maybe better than Nora and Elaine.
No, it'd be more effective if you do it because then you don't want that. So
Right? That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So Nora is thinking, do I want it to work or do I? Because if Mark does it, it's going to work. Why?
we don't have control over the discipline. So we're not going to
Maybe.
ever know what you're going to come up with. So.
Right. That's right. That's exactly. Mark studies me more than I study myself. And you know what? That little drink that's happening right now, that might be one of the first targets of the discipline.
Don't touch my coffee.
Right.
Right.
Right. So what I do with my kids, not that you guys are my kids, of course, but what I do with my kids, seriously, when they're Lincoln's age, you can do it with Lincoln. You can totally do it with Lincoln. And what you can do is you can say, you made it, good choices, good consequences, bad choices, bad consequences. And at the age of 2, they can understand that. Maybe at the age of 1. They can understand the concept of good choices, good consequences, bad choices, bad consequences. They can understand it. You know, and so what would be one thing that I could go after for Elaine? These aren't idols. I'm not saying these are idols. I'm not saying they're idols. Like in the Bible, I'm not saying these are your idols. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, what could I go after for Elaine? Her essential oils. Like I could go after that. Like, I mean, who's got a whole cabinet full? Like, wow. Since I found that out, I haven't gone into the house again. I'm like, I don't know if I feel safe about that. So the thing is what I tell my kids is they'd be 2, 3 years old, 4 years old. And I say, okay, you made this choice. Is that a good choice or bad choice? They'd be like, bad choice, Daddy, bad choice. I'm like, okay. So when a bad choice happens, honey, what happens then? They'd be like, bad consequences, Daddy, bad consequences. They couldn't even say the word consequence, but they can understand there's a consequence. They can understand this at a very, very young age. I mean, very, very young age. They can understand it. So then I'd say, okay, so you get to come up with your first consequence. And my kids would be either one of two ways. They'd either be way off to the right, I'll never eat again in my life. Okay, that's a little harsh. Or, you know, I'm gonna skip a snack for 10 minutes. Yeah, that's probably not gonna get the job done. That's probably not gonna get the job. So people tend to go extremes one way or another, and neither is good. And so you want to personally leverage. The whole course on leverage is the whole purpose of leverage is learning first to leverage yourself. You shouldn't be leveraging other people if you can't leverage yourself. So what I'd do is I'd say, okay, I'd explain them the whole concept. 2 or 3 years old, I'm doing this. And then I'd have them have the consequence. Then I'd say, do you think that consequence is going to work? And they'd be like, yes or no. And if they said, well, no, I'd say, well, then you don't want that consequence. You want a consequence that's got enough bite in it to change it. So I'd let them come up with the first consequence. And then I say, if the whole purpose of a consequence is to change behavior, if it doesn't change behavior, well, then you're not having a biting enough consequence. And so you come up with the first consequence, and if it doesn't change it, then I get a shot. Look at Anita. She's like, ooh, I would love Mark. Because what am I going to go after for Anita?
Not sure.
What's a guess?
Family time?
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's a great idea. Now, I didn't think of that one, but that's a good one, Anita. That's perfect. That's awesome. So that's one of the tricks you use when you're in leadership. You get them to come up with consequences, and they often come up with more severe ones than you come up with, and then you can use those. So she knows where it is. Now, would I recommend that one for Anita?
No.
Why not? Because Anita will become a victim, and then they'll blame Mark for it. Fascinating, right? Huh. So then the family will be poisoned. The family will be poisoned against me or where she's working. So they'll be poisoned against me or where she's working, and then they'll try to destroy that because that's. And what they don't understand is they don't understand is how much the lack of discipline, personal discipline, is hurting their daughter or their sister or themselves. Like they don't understand. The lack of personal discipline is one of the key ingredients to why Anita doesn't have self-confidence. Because when you discipline yourself harshly and you change your behavior, you gain confidence. So as a parent, you do not want to go ahead and discipline your child. You want them to be personally disciplined. And so, Lincoln was in church yesterday. He did a pretty good job. Like for a 3-year-old and where he's at, like he did a pretty good job. Like that was pretty cool to see him. He can do even better. To do that, I just need to spend a little time with him, or somebody does. So it's like, can he color? Like I'm going to find something that's quiet that will exercise his mind. And so I almost did yesterday, but I didn't prep, so I didn't do it. But I almost yesterday had the friendship, your voice in my headset, and there's some exercises in there for children. And it's like, so could he color? So what I did with my kids is I'd have them listen to the sermon and lock in on one thing that the pastor is saying and then draw a picture on that. So personal discipline, disciplining yourself so your parents don't have to, so your boss doesn't have to, so the police officers don't have to, so reality doesn't have to, is really, really important. And it's probably the number one, potentially it's one of the top ones for Nora to get her 250,000 goal and her action. And it's not about her. It's really not. So she's the one that I spend the most time with, investing the most into. So it makes sense. And she seems to be really passionate about my legacy. And she seems to have a care about me in a way that, a lot of people don't. So all of those factors I'm going to be, but it's not about her. But when I say, Nora and Elaine and Ginger Ann and Anita and Sod and everybody else, that's long to do that. So when I'm saying Nora, I'm not really saying Nora. I'm saying everybody. So everybody on her team, everybody working with her, she will make a lot of money and she will help other people make a lot of money. It's not about the money. It's about using our talents and stewarding our talents well. And so as a leader, you've got to be willing to go ahead and you've got to care enough about your people to know leverage. And then what you want them to do is you want to teach them how to do leverage on themselves. Questions on that? And this is even more important for adults because children, your children, the younger they are, the younger they are, the easier it is to teach them this personal discipline. Because if they don't learn it when they're young, if they haven't learned it when they're young, the older they get, the harder it is to go ahead and teach them. The longer somebody goes in life without personal discipline, the harder it is to change it. So I think what we'll do is we were going to do a coffee connection debrief, which I think we can still do, but I think this one will be its own separate, one. And so, Anita's going like crazy and Nora and Elaine are going like crazy on where do we put this, right? Like, where do we go ahead and put it? And so it's something you all have to, and then you have to be willing to watch it more than once. And then you have to be willing to go ahead and write out 100 times, I'm going to be more disciplined. Then you want to share that with other people of what you're doing. And so, is it in the legacy partners? Is it in here? Is it in the core thinking? Okay. So is it here? Okay. 4 levels of leadership. Does it go above that? Like, what's the first thing? Like, it really hurt me that I didn't get a chance to talk to. I didn't make the chance, didn't have the systems, got overwhelmed. It just is. And I didn't talk to Linda. That really ticks me off. I really wanted to talk. She might have been one of the, and this one here doesn't have it here. So what's the most important? And then Victor, I talked to him yesterday spontaneously like this here. We don't have this. So Nita, you can go in and say, what happened to the subject lines again, the topic lines? Like, why aren't they there? But you're constantly looking at this is something you all intimately need to know. So, for women, intimacy, the thing that I think of is babies, their own children. They know they change their diapers, they bathe them, they know that body of that baby. And so if there's something that's not right about the baby, they can feel it, they can sense it. And so that's what you want this particular one to be for all of you. You do not want to teach, and let me tell you, you do not want to teach men personal discipline. You just don't. It's so hard, it's insane. So you want a male voice saying this is what you need to do. Now you can enforce it. Like you can either do this on your own, or I'm going to nudge you to do it. Or if you don't, we can get Mark involved. Like he has no problem. So it's all about leverage. It's all about leverage. Now there's questions about this, maybe like, well, what if I don't think it's the smartest thing to do? Okay. So do you ever plan to be, are you a leader? Do you ever plan to be a leader? Yeah. So are you okay if the people you're leading, like, you know, if you have, I don't know, 3 kids and your kids don't want to do something that you think is a good idea, are you okay with them just ignoring it? No. Okay, well then if you have authorities, you can't just go ahead and ignore them. Do you have employees? Are you okay if they just ignore them? Just ignore it. Like, I don't see the benefit of it, so I'm just not going to do it. If that's your attitude as a leader, that's the kind of people you're going to either attract or develop. You just will. Just say it. Like, it's just simple. And so in going through this, this is important. You guys need to understand this particular area. You guys need to know it intimately. You guys need to be aware of it, like Lincoln is with his, 251 trucks. He knows exactly, in cars, he knows exactly which one, they're all lined up in order. And he knows if you move one to another area, he understands it. That's what you need to know this for. You need to know where this is, and you need to battle with it and say, is this the top one? What's the first thing we want a VA, EVA, LP to understand? What's the second thing we need to, and we need to battle that because we got to capture the heart, the mind, the soul. We need to help people. We're here to help you achieve everything that you are put on this planet to achieve. We're here to help you become everything you were created to be. But we can't do that without you. And there's going to be things that we're going to tell you to do that you don't like doing. And you don't see the benefit of doing them. But you need to do them. You just need to. You need to trust the integrity of the system, because the integrity has system, because you're a part of the system. And if you don't have integrity, you destroy the whole system. One person. So hopefully this is helpful to everyone in so many different arenas. Any questions on this? Or thoughts? Okay.